Well, who says you can't go home? At JBJ's Nashville, they make you feel like family. The state-of-the-art, groundbreaking venue brought to life in Lower Broadway by the legendary Jon Bon Jovi himself. But it's not just like any other honky-tonk. It's Take a look. At JBJ's Nashville, you're not just living on a prayer. You're living large. The tallest building on Lower Broad, providing an
elevated downtown Lower Broadway experience.
Bringing rock and roll to the typical country scene, but constructing this roughly 37,000 square foot hotspot.
This started off as a parking lot.
Had been 4 years in the making, but the Josephs from Big Plan Holdings decided to keep the faith.
So the actual development process was challenging, but the end result is absolutely spectacular.
Any visitor can see Jon Bon Jovi's hand throughout all the details.
From day one, he was nothing short of the biggest gentleman. We sat shotgun to one another throughout. The exterior signage, the naming of JBJ's Nashville. Just you can see his fingerprints kind of really throughout.
It's basically a Bon Jovi museum.
You have musical instruments, you have little pieces and touches around every one of the different floors in the building that have some sort of Bon Jovi element to them.
From the interior design to the overall aesthetics to Lower Broadway's largest stage, it's a bed of roses.
The main stage, which hits our activation of floors 1 through 3, John and his stage design team had a really great participation in designing that. But it was also very, very, very important to John that it wasn't all about him, and he wanted his band to be included.
The band, a staple in the Joseph family.
You know, he was played throughout our household, you know, growing up as we were kids together.
The two have been together since 8th grade, carrying that shared love into today's Music City scene.
You know, the Bon Jovi band, the Bon Jovi music, 80s rock and roll has been a consistent theme in our house.
Because John and the band have huge ties to Music City. In fact, a lot of their songs had been written here.
And so blending those two together, being a differentiator with rock and roll, and John and the Bon Jovi band, and a Nashville connection was very important.
But when it comes to Nashville, it's not just music dominating, it's our food.
And John did have, you know, some participation in the menu as well.
Sticking with JBJ's elevated theme, it's not your typical bar food.
Slow braised short rib, pork belly sliders, the chicken satay with the white jasmine rice. So a little more elevated dining experience that you can't get anywhere else on Broadway.
It's the full package, but I had to ask, is there actually the potential of seeing Jon Bon Jovi there?
Without question, there's a chance, you see. Yeah.
Well, check out their lineup of live music and events, and of course their menu. You can find them at jbjsnash.com. More local on 2 right after this.